Okay, Miller number one, who I assume is a Frank Miller fan. Could you talk a bit about the influence of Frank Miller on the Batman books in the 1990s? Was there a conscious imitation, editorial pressure, etc.? I gotta say that the impact of Frank Miller's Dark Knight on the regular monthly Batman titles was zero. Um, he was seen as sort of at DC as an anomaly, a milestone, a benchmark. These were always special projects, and they really didn't impact at all what we were doing in the monthly books. The monthly books were all about Denny O'Neil's vision of Batman, and I was fine with that. I didn't really want to write Frank Miller's uh, version of Batman. I really wanted to write Denny's because Denny is he's the guy that saved Batman from obscurity. He saved Batman from corniness. He turned Batman back to his roots as a dark, shadowy, urban legend crime fighter, and that that's the Batman I liked. That's the Batman I wanted to write, and the rest of us felt the same way. On the writing end, and on the art end, nobody was trying to imitate Frank Miller or do what Frank Miller was doing. We were doing our own thing. Because the monthly comics, you can say what you want about the big prestige books and everything else, but the monthly comics paid the bills every month. They kept the money coming in. And Batman was at this time, still highly profitable for DC. But I remember, to tell a Frank Miller and Denny O'Neil story, I remember when we arranged DC and Todd McFarlane agreed to do Batman Spawn crossovers. And Todd would publish one at Image and DC would publish another one. Of course, Todd was in charge of his, and he hired Frank Miller to write it. And we were at a Bat Summit when the script and some of the art for it were FedExed to Denny at our resort where we were having the summit. And Denny saw this image. And actually, this is the final image in the comic. But the initial image was drawn by Frank Miller, and the Batarang was lodged point on in the middle of Spawn's skull. And Denny, a bunch of us were with Denny at the time, and his reaction was visceral because he felt that this was kind of an fu to him from Frank Miller. That's the way Denny saw it. He says this is a direct, because it insults everything that Denny, uh, every quality that Denny had instilled in Batman. That to have Batman basically try to kill someone with a batarang.